Welcome back, adventurers. My name is Eli, the Game Master, and welcome back to A Good Day to Die. I am unprepared, mentally, physically. Physically unprepared. Mentally, not so much. Last we left off, the group had left Drimport. They had learned more about how the Black Blood Curse works, about the different heads, about the source, and the farther that the heads of the Black Blood extend out from its main source, the less control it seems to have, and the more sentience and independence it begins to gain on its own. The group decided to head out to Martrek, a city across the Gulf in a small swamp-like area of the Terresquian continent. As they headed out, they got to the ports of Martrek, and they saw that there were several ships creating sort of a blockade. They were held by an odd halfling who had stepped onto their ship and exposed himself as an ambusher of sorts, as boggards had crawled out from the murky depths, had boarded the group's ship, and after fighting them off is where we will pick up. So, the ship that you once were on, that you are still on, is absolutely littered with boggard corpses. What do y'all do?
We are currently down an octopus friend.
Yes, that is a thing.
Who's currently chasing
Boom. Yes. So, Manzarek, who is played by our buddy Max here, has given chase to the Boggart cleric who had jumped into the ocean, into the briny deep, and he had slothed, would that be a word? He'd sloughed off the side of the ship, splashed in his new, octopus form. Giant octopus form, as he has decided to give chase. So we'll go ahead and do that, unless anybody else would like to take any other actions before Manzarek gives chase.
I'm just staring after one. That Manzarek?
Yeah.
I chase for 2 rounds.
You chase her for 2 rounds?
2 rounds.
All right, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Hold on.
Are we technically in the wild right now?
You are in the wild, and if it makes any difference, you are technically in the swamp, which means any skill checks that you get half your levels added to it as a druid, because you're a Gripli. That's the thing. Survival, perception.
Wisdom based.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I had
wisdom.
it as a couple things. I did not have perception for it. So in that case, we get 26.
26. Wunderbar. So, as your cephalopodal form falls into the water, you see her just in the distance, in the murk. You can make out her silhouette as she starts beating Amphibious cheeks and making straight for the shoreline. You know how, like, when frogs swim, they just keep their arms to their side and their legs just kick and they start getting? She is getting. And unless you have the special ability that all cephalopodal creatures like yourself should have, which is jet, you simply cannot catch up to her.
Right.
You can keep pace, but with the head start that she has, she'll get on to land before you will.
Yeah, I will stop.
So, as the rest of you are standing there, Damon just looks over the side and he says, "Was that Manzarek?" You see tentacles just and this bulbous
The
head.
tone's like, yep.
You see Vimarian standing there as he watches you like slink through a porthole like this big, and your head just as the rest of you unfolds out of it, and he goes, "Ew."
Gentlemen, I've lost her.
Do you say like
I can speak in wild shape.
Cthulhu Fatag? Yeah.
Oh no. I am not changing back
Don't,
anytime
right.
soon. So.
Okay.
How long can you stay like that?
How many were
What
7
day,
hours?
What day is it?
As if it's more than 4 hours, you can
7 hours.
A short work day. That's all I can stay like this.
He doesn't.
Still impressive.
Just a second.
One Mississippi.
You're being penalized for every second you go over.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
Those are fast.
So, octopus can breathe outside of water.
Mhm.
They cannot live outside of water because they can't keep their skin wet.
Mhm.
So, until I start to dry out, I'm hanging out as a
Create water. Create water.
David looks over the side at the smaller boat and says, "Should we check out what that dude was?" So
Packing?
medieval, isn't it? Should we check out the boat?
Sure. Let's check it out. And
slosh over.
I'll not slosh over.
Hop over there. Start
Squabble
searching
over there.
for valuables.
Vimarion looks over at all the scattered Bogard corpses on his ship. He turns to his skeleton crew, his figurative skeleton crew, because I know all of you are like, undead!
Wait, what? We missed that detail.
We have to kill the skeleton crew. It's a gazebo, kill it. He turns to his crew of 5 men, and he says, take anything of value they have on them, and then toss the corpses overboard.
I help them with as much gusto as I can do.
All the guys.
He's just
I don't-
roll them up and go, woo!
I don't know what cephalopod gusto looks like.
I feel like that's right.
Valiant effort.
Anyway,
Perceive their boat.
it's that.
Looking for things inside their boat.
Oh, so when you step onto the ship, a couple of things that you notice. Do you have knowledge engineering?
Dungeoneering.
You have knowledge engineering?
Yes.
Wunderbar. What do you get taking a 10?
I get 15.
With a 15, a couple of things that you can kind of glean off of what you see of the ship just at a casual glance is, firstly, it's not from here. This ship looks like it was probably from farther west than where you are now and has made its way over here. It's not meant to navigate the mangroves of the Martrekian area or anything like that. It's built mostly for speed, but it looks ill-maintained. The sail looks a little tattered. The hull doesn't look like it's been careened and cleaned in any reasonable time. And a lot of the items that are strewn about on the deck look like they are in ill repair and not ready to be used. The first thing you get from that, the first feeling you get, is they probably commandeered this guy and are just going to use it until it sinks.
What race does it look like constructed it? Human build, dwarf build?
It's not dwarven build, nor is it elven build. If it came from the western area, there's a high chance that it's probably just a human construction.
Looks like a lot of this stuff hasn't been maintained well. Do we want to take a chance below decks?
Do we think they have a secret stash?
I mean, depends on how long they've been robbing people. Maybe.
Well, I'll go investigate the stash of secretness.
Go with him.
I go with him.
Excellent. Walking across the gangplank, you get onto the other ship. The boards creak and whine under your footsteps as you make your way down the single set of stairs that lead you to below deck. This area is nothing more than a holding area because the ship is significantly smaller than the one that you are currently on. There's no bedding room. There's no creature comforts or anything like that. It is simply for storage. However, what you do find down there is a dozen Gripli chained to the wall, each one of them with a bag over their head, chains and manacles around their tiny slippery wrists, as their heads are anchored down, just afraid to move, it seems, in complete silence.
In Gripli, I say, fear not, I'll get you out of this immediately.
You see them all like raise their heads as they raise their hands and begin to shake.
And I start ripping off the hoods and trying to...
Is there a key hanging on the wall anywhere?
You do not see a key hanging on the wall anywhere.
Can you go find a key?
I go looking for a key.
Where
Before they-
specifically do you go look for a key?
Before they toss the bodies off that little halfling?
I was gonna search the halfling.
Searching the halfling, you find 25 gold pieces,
Neat.
Wow. This dude was loaded.
a whistle, a dagger,
Write that down, buddy. What are you doing?
and a Ringo keys.
Okay.
Ah, the Ring of Keys.
It's a
My
magical item.
favorite item.
It's a ring
Yeah.
that unlocks doors. Like,
Yes.
is that a thing?
It is now.
It is now.
Cannon.
So if I see you like start
Oh,
looking
found
for
one.
like just something, I was like, I found some keys. Do you want them?
Yes.
Get Manzarek down here too. I shout.
I just
from-
walk.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm good at throwing things. I'm really good at throwing things.
You just get like a bad feeling, like the fates are like, throw it. Like, do it.
I get the keys from him, go back down, I start unlocking magnets.
As you do so, they begin speaking in Gripli in a very kind of panicked tone. As they start, and it's kind of hard for you to follow,
Yeah,
like
still kind of fresh language.
right, especially with so many of them speaking at once. However, something that you do notice is you picked up Gripli from Manzarek, kind of from your studies as
Yeah.
well, but just kind of chilling out and hanging with Manzarek. They speak with his specific dialect.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, not nice.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Slow down, slow down. It's okay. It's okay. Let's go up deck. Let's get you guys out of here. And I start hustling them up onto deck
just
into the sunlight. Let's go.
just
Come on.
dozens of little slacky
Good game. Good game.
tossing them. They're this big. I mean,
Yeah.
No, I'm very
there's a
gentle.
crack in the floorboard, and you're just like,
No, y'all hop on the top of
How
each
many
other,
are there?
carry
Just like a
them.
dozen?
a dozen. Yes. As they start making their way topside, a lot of the things that you heard them say as this is happening is they start to ask, "Where is the chiefess?" They say that a lot.
The chiefess.
Is that a word, or is it just chief? Is that a unisex name?
Sure. I don't know. Chiefess
I think
sounds good.
chieftain would still be.
Where's the chief? Chieftain? Chiefess?
Chiefess.
Not
Where's the
bad.
beef?
As
Female chef.
As I'm following them out, I look at Perry and I say, I'll go
Chieftainess. Where is the
I'll go
chieftainess?
tell Manzarek we found some of his people.
According to, or chiefess, both.
Ah.
AI says chieftainess.
Yeah.
Wikipedia
just
says
AI.
chiefess.
I'll say chiefess then.
I
Yeah.
trust Wikipedia.
The chiefess. Do you know Manzarek?
They start to croak. They start like in excited ribbits, right? They start to kind of chant Manzarek, right? They start to say brother over and over.
I go looking for you.
It's not hard.
Yucking bodies off as an octopus.
Manzarek, we found some Gripli
You see a
Below
dozen
decks.
Griplis just come up from below deck.
surrounding me like a cluster of flowers.
As they start to like look around, they look at you and they're like, nah.
I start crawling towards them and morph back into. It's still kind of.
Oh wait. They look to you. You recognize all of them. They are all your brothers and sisters, with the exception of one who is your uncle.
Oh, was that I don't know the name.
You don't know the name, but does Delaney know the name?
It was funny.
That's
It
a
had to
no.
do with weed. Bong water.
You remembered that part.
I do.
I like look at them shocked and what are you doing here?
They, in that very same kind of like excited way, start to explain all at once. And it's hard for you to kind of get anything out of their excited and confused jabbering.
I stop all of them. Went to my uncle. What happened?
He walks up, and for all of you to kind of get an understanding, when you look at these Gripli, it's in this moment that you realize that Gripli attire is very different than what Manzarek wear. Like when you saw Manzarek in his druidic robes, you're like, oh, all Gripli dress like that. They are dressed more in like a primal way, in different types of leathers or even foliage covering their chests, their backs, or even just loincloths. They look very like tribal-esque. They all have that same pattern as Manzarek, that same American frog pattern, the yellows and the
Leopard frog.
greens. I'm sorry?
Leopard frog.
American leopard frog pattern. American frog. The red, white, and blue. America! Ribbit! With the exception of Bongwater, who is a darker complexion that portrays his age. He is also massive. And I don't mean like big, he's just big. He's just a big fat frog. His vocal sac kind of sits down and touches his chest a little bit. And he has these tired eyes. He wears nothing but a vest and some slacks. They are all barefoot, by the way. They're all frog foot, by the way.
Slap.
Yeah.
As he looks to you, Manzarek, he says, Manzarek, what are you doing here?
I asked you first, what are you doing here?
The Boggards. They've attacked.
Have they hit Dendro?
He looks at you like, how do you not know? He says, Manzarek, they've hit everyone.
How did they get past the Froghemoth?
I do not know. This has only happened within the last week. They've swarmed, and they organized army. They moved in force with magics and numbers that we've never seen before. And Zarek, where have you been?
Been looking for my friend. How many have they taken? How many are dead? Where is Mother?
He looks kind of confused. He looks up at you and he says, I can only assume she was taken with the rest of them. The birthing pools are the only thing I don't think they know where are. But they've attacked all of the tribes in simultaneous order. He says, Martrek, he gestures over to the city, right? He says, has taken no arms or actions against them. They've simply occupied it. It says, in all of the villages, with the exception of Kakarikik village and Trigatak have been taken. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Kakarikik.
Kakarikik.
It's a Scrabble winner. K-A.
Okay.
K-A.
Okay.
R-I.
Okay.
K-I.
Okay.
K. Kakarikik.
Okay.
I tried to make them all sound like noises frogs would make. And Trigatak.
Big attack. T-R-I-G-A-T-A-K.
T-R-I-G-G dash A dash D-A-K.
Oh, that was close.
Yes. And you would know those two villages as the Croakala, who are the high ups, who are the most powerful and largest of the Gripli villages. They are the closest thing to like an organized military that Griplis have. And they proclaim to have direct ancestry to the Evertree, which you know is the Great Tree. They believe that all spirits are drawn into the roots of the Great Tree and are distributed out through the world when you die. And they believe that they are birthed from those very roots and have proclaimed themselves the most powerful and high of the Griplis. They don't play well with other Gripli. You would also know that the Trigatak are the Death Touch Gripli. They are bright and vibrant color. They live in the farthest parts of the Martrekian area, and they secrete poison from their
So they're
skin.
both Croakala?
No, the Croakala is the Kakarikik
Yeah, Kakarikik
is the Croakala.
And Trigatak is
The Death Touch.
Poison arrow.
Yes.
Okay.
But that would mean that the Vault, the Swift Tongue, the Stickfoot, and the Clandestine have all fallen, if what he is saying is true. Which are the other four major Gripli. Which means that Dendro, the Swift Tongue, is part of that. And that means that Max belongs to Dendro, the Swift Tongue.
Man, it'd be real fun if I knew Gripli.
Because he licked the abyss.
Swiftly.
Remind me to tell you something later.
Okay,
Based off of that.
It freaked me out. In a big way.
The abyss licked back.
So I just like try to compose myself. Or I had to leave an important druidic mission. Would have been there.
I don't know where your mother is. You see tears begin to well up in his bulbous eyes, right? As he blinks, his eyes kind of recess into his head and tears roll down his large head. They took Lily. Lily is his Dinokairos.
Oh no.
You would know that your uncle, Bongwater, is one of the most prolific Dinokairos breeders in all of the Martrekian area. He only ever has one full-grown Dinokairos, though, at any given time. The young ones he trains to ferry people to and fro, but they outlive generations of Gripli. So, like, Lily is the only full adult trained, domesticated Dinokairos in the area.
Do we know where they took them? Did they take them back? Did they take the rest of the Gripli back to their own villages? Did they take them? Did they take them to the?
No, I don't know about the sacred area. I don't know if they've taken them there, it says. But I do know where the Barnard camp is. They've taken a lot of Dendro there. They're holding them captive, but for what means, I don't know.
Did any of them have... Sorry, I know it's weird.
No, that's fine.
Did anyone have black ichor rolling down their eyes?
Not that I know.
Is everyone kind of grouped up?
Yes.
The Marion says, I hate to break this up, gentlemen, but we do have a mission that we need to accomplish. So, we will drop them off at Martrek and then we'll be on our way, yes?
Yes.
But this may be part of that mission.
I would.
Might they not be able to take this other boat? Or is it too much? What do you think, Bert? Damn it.
The Marion?
Vimerian, what do you think about that boat?
He says, firstly, they seem to be excellent swimmers, so I don't know if they need the boat. Secondly, they can have it. I have no use for it. But thirdly, my mission was to get you to Martrek.
Kind of just like gather all the Gripli and I start giving them food, water, anything I have on me that they could use. I start just giving it away for you. Everything, literally everything I own is theirs.
They begin eagerly grabbing at it, right? And they continue to ask you where Mother is.
I embarrassed all of them. I am not in a good place right now.
He needs healing. So when everyone's grouped up, I'm just gonna do a couple of channels.
Okay.
I'll take some of those
delicious heals.
Channel me, baby.
5 and 9. 14!
14.
Either? Oh no.
I'll take another.
Please, another.
The gold chain glows. A burst of golden energy washes over everyone as you all feel 14 points back.
Wahoo.
Thank you.
Is anyone still hurt or
I mean,
other than Max?
yes.
How many suns has it been since you were taken?
7.
That line up with everything we're doing. 7 days ago, we would have been
Yeah. It's been maybe a week and a half, something like that.
yeah.
So.
But 2 weeks ago, we know.
However, these guys aren't affected. They were taken captive, which doesn't line up with
Right.
Blackblood.
Right. I also have no idea what's been said at all. I'm just drinking a bunch of croaking, and I was like, I assume this is
You
needed.
just hear Perry over there, like, what is happening?
I begin like explaining.
Sounds
Kinda
like
what
a
is
balmy
happening.
summer night in here.
Primary, let's go ahead and get back to port. I think the ship will probably be scuttled and or stolen.
Yeah.
Excellent, he says.
You set it on fire.
We can always.
Be more on fire.
Is there like some sort of like easily flammable thing on the ship?
Wood?
Oh yeah.
Like a spark would catch.
Not really, because that's a slippery slope when you start saying I can set a ship on fire with a cantrip.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, like
Like a pile of cells, some
If
gunpowder.
we take 5 minutes to set it up, and
I will allow that.
Okay.
Yes, if you take the time to get it going. Yes.
Were there any other valuables besides the Gripli below? Okay.
The Gripli is plenty valuable enough.
I said besides the Gripli.
Cheese.
Yeah, they sold for a lot.
cheese.
At least 50 gold piece of Gripli.
Yeah, what's my cut? And my alignment changes.
Them some expensive frog legs.
They're big old frog legs though. How much frog eating you'd have to do to get how much frog leg meat?
He says, he looks to you, he says, and the captives they've taken, I don't know for what means, but they spoke of sacrifice and a priest king.
That sounds kind of like our friend, Handsome Joe.
You look at me, I don't know what you're saying.
Think they have several war priests.
Yes. You would also know. Roll me either knowledge local or nature.
It's gonna be a 27.
With a 27, when he says priest king, that is the leader of the Boggard chiefs. So Boggards have like a fickle hierarchy where might makes right, and so oftentimes like the higher ups and the strongest of Boggards will be killed or eaten. However, there is one priest king that is untouchable, mostly because he is physically terrifying, and secondly because he proclaims direct lineage to the Frog Mother.
Okay, so there's the swamp seers, and then there's the war priest. Priest king.
So, for translation for everybody, what they're saying is that in order for us to find the next steps in our mission, we have to help save all the Gripli from
No,
Or Shane is making noise too.
it was doing that before.
He said it was doing it before and it's not doing it now and he's plugging it back in.
Alright, cool. It's good.
The neat part
He
is
says it's good, thank you.
we can hear him the entire time.
Our unofficial sound guy.
Thanks, Tay.
Unofficial? I think it's
Oh, it's pretty
It's
official.
pretty
They're
official.
hired.
For free.
We have a check 1 2.
44?
Check 1 2.
I look at you like I know that you're lying. Obviously, I can know what's going on.
understand that conversation.
And normally I don't like appreciate lying. I just stand there and I just kind of look at you.
Sure. I feel like all of this requires us getting to port, so these
Sure.
lovely individuals can say mission accomplished and get back to other locations.
And we'll throw Zara into the bargain. That's from there.
But Martrek is unsafe. We can't go there, Longwater says.
Where is safe?
He says, the mangroves. If we go upriver a ways, he says, I know a safe place. Birthing pools. They don't know where that is.
Comfortable with outsiders?
He looks at all of you, and you know, like, Bongwater is like the most chill frog there is. But as he kind of like looks at the rest of you, he's like,
Are they speaking in Gripli?
yeah, Bongwater only knows Gripli.
What?
Are my friends. But it is.
You know Bongwater loves you, but like he also is like, you left to go do your druid thing, and he's
Oh
like,
yeah, no, my druid thing has been a huge problem. Like,
yeah, and so you can tell he's like, fine. You know? Let me think about it. What are we talking about?
You know, there's some frogs you can lick to get a high.
My sister's one of them.
Whoa.
What was your tribe name again?
To reiterate, we've heard none of this talk in Gripli, so we're still heading towards Martrek.
Well, Vimarian hasn't left yet because he's like, oh, if that's a thing we gotta do, then
Marion, can we change course? And go
up the river. Or why?
on track is not. My friends here. Family.
Why?
Our trek is best of bothered. Dangerous place for the Gripli.
They're clearly hostile, he says, kicking one off the side.
So we go and murder the bard?
I think if we can go into the mangrove, scout out the area.
As long as it's heading in the same direction we're already going,
We
we
will-
really don't have to make a decision
Ultimately, it will.
until it goes off somewhere else.
We will be going north. The Martrek was only supposed to be a quick stop. Going upriver would be going north.
I don't know, man. I don't know where anything is anymore. I didn't know where things were to begin with.
He says, then it's decided. He starts giving the orders to head up the coastline, right? He turns to you. Do you have knowledge geography?
Yo.
I need a roll for that. Be a Kuaz, you and Bongwater are the only ones that can give him directions.
24.
So you know exactly what river he needs to take. You know exactly where those birthing pools are. That birthing pool is part of the Azulian Divide, where the river comes down and forks out into several different branches into the Martrekian area. And you do know the one spot where it feeds down into this kind of deep gulf that levels out, and the birthing pools are there, and then feeds off into a waterfall down below. So you know the ship can take you to the base of that waterfall, and then the birthing pools are atop of it.
Okay.
So he gives the order, and the ship begins to navigate through there. Bongwater says, "Thank you, Manzarek. This is truly something noble you're doing. Your mother will be proud when we tell her what you're doing here."
When we did the whole stabbing thing, was it the Black Blood? Perfect copies are perfect copies.
Are you saying this in common?
Yeah.
I would assume so, but I want to make sure.
I mean,
I mean, if y'all are talking Aquila.
I feel so left out. I might as well speak a language that only one other person knows.
in this party.
I'll be the common denominator.
It's all the life it deserved.
It sounded sarcastic.
It was real.
Sardonic. Ha!
I pull out a dagger. There is a precaution all of us must take. You get a small pinprick of blood.
He looks over at all the Gripli.
I'm saying this in Gripli, like,
Mhm.
obviously. Doesn't talk.
Yeah, but he's just like, we're gonna stab him.
Just, and then I do it to myself. I just
Yeah. I would also
Like- pat myself just a little bit on the shoulder.
take out a scalpel and
Colors, but why?
There is a complication that we experience, that my friends and I experience. Great city of Driftwood. Want to make sure. Must
This helps, of course.
it will. I take his arm and I just like.
I pull up bandages like I'm ready to.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of go through and I systematically like talk to each one individually and be like this, just to make sure. Do it.
I would like the rest of you to roll me a perception check while this is going on. Not Dr. Isaac Tone and not Manzarek,
Okay.
Well, I rolled for it.
because you two are busy.
That's fair.
16.
23.
13.
With a 23, as you begin to make way up the coastline, heading to the mouth of the river that he has dictated you go to, it seems that you have not done this unnoticed. You see several of those ships sitting out in the harbor. Like, as you look over, you see several spyglasses following you. Whether it's curiosity or they actively don't want you heading in that direction, you're not sure. You can roll me a sense motive if you would like.
As I do that, because I don't know enough about seafaring, what they might be watching, so I actually go to the Marion first, and I mention this fact to him.
Let me sense
To get
motive.
his opinion. Because you probably have a bonus.
A raging bonus. Seems fine to me.
Oh, no.
It is forever on the internet.
What part?
Oh.
Yes. This is what it is. 19.
Yeah, you did better than he did.
Obviously.
He looks at you and he goes,
No. Those spyglasses. Turn up.
looks normal to me. You get a feeling about this because they seem to be doing it collectively as you look out from what you can see. None of them are pursuing you, however, and you see no boggards. So you feel like these people are a face. They are put just like the halfling on manning these ships, captaining these ships, piloting these ships, and other similes. As they are watching you head in that direction, but they do not give pursuit, nor do they try to stop or hail you in any way.
I think we should keep a watch. Maybe in the crow's nest. Is there a crow's nest on this ship? Is it big enough? No. I think we need to keep a watch. Make sure that nobody follows us. But don't get a good feeling from those people.
We can do that.
That sounds fun.
I wouldn't do
Climb the
enough kinds of
mast.
sorts of people anymore.
Do you do that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Give me that climb.
I'm a great climber. Actually, I do have it. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll do feet. Use my intelligence to climb.
I see it's a double digit.
It is. That's a 26.
Oh, you up on that mast. You Errol Flynn that thing. So you get up, you sit up there as you're looking out. You see very much the same thing once he's pointed it out, right? But without pursuit, you begin to head up and around. This feels kind of like slow going, and by the time you get to the mouth of this river, it is well past midday. As you turn and you start heading upriver, the ship begins to tack kind of back and forth, and you all feel kind of uncomfortable because the water is murky. This deep abyssal brownish color with vines that extend out from the banks, the knees of trees reaching out, and even the canopy kind of reaching over and shading you as you're making your way through there. He cuts the sails down and it's kind of slow going as he starts to navigate and maneuver through there. But with how wide this river is, it feels like it's deep enough for a ship of this size to make its way through here. You continue doing so until it starts to get dark. Does anybody do anything during that time?
I stay up on deck. I sit more or less near the helmsman, just keeping a watch over the water.
Are most of the Gripli up top?
Yeah, they are kind of everywhere. They're going through stuff. They're touching things. They're even looking over to you, and they like want to reach up and touch that axe on your back. The cursed one.
It dies instantly.
Oh no.
Eli.
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. But Derek, one died. Yeah, that's kind of par for the course for Gripli.
It's just a random Tuesday.
What's the average lifespan?
I guess what I'll do is I'll just sit.
What's the average lifespan?
Well, they live to be 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
But I think an average lifespan is probably 6. Like,
6.
But to also give you an idea, they reach adulthood within a year. They tadpole, polywag, full frog within a year.
I thought it.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Just one brain. Let's share.
You want the cell? The only one, the precious brain cell that we share.
I'll just sit on the back of the ship and just kind of, every now and again, just periodically, just like to look at the surroundings, just to kind of see. 'Cause I don't know where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
I've not really been on ships. Make sure we're not going to get ambushed, but not like looking for anything specific. Just
I got you.
in general, just periodically, just kind of glance, make sure there's not like something there.
I'm living the best pirate life I can in this moment.
Yeah.
Like with my new knowledge nature, I'm probably actually more of looking out the plant life. Like, I know what kind of tree this is. I know what kind of flower that is. I know that's this kind of bird, and they make this kind of call. And I don't know why I know these things.
Roll me knowledge nature.
Rolls a 1. Actually, I don't know any of this.
15.
With a 15, as you're looking out at the flora and fauna in this area, it is kind of a temperate swamp. It's not like palm trees and jungle. It's more like the marshes of like Louisiana or Florida, kind of, sort of. As you're making your way through there, you hear the buzz of insects. There are a lot of things that you see, though, that you don't quite understand. Like, it feels out of place being there. With a 15, you don't know what kind of plant that is. And it feels odd and off to you. And it's not super duper common, but that is a lot. That happens a lot. Like, just kind of looking out. Also, I would like you all to know, understand, and feel that there are bugs. Lots of insects. Buzzing mosquitoes and flies. And you just see the Gripli seem super comfortable, and every so often they do just a very nonchalant and eat something, and that sound, you're like, what was that? Just like, you're just hanging out and it's all up.
you have never seen me so comfortable. This is the life.
It is also very muggy and very hot.
I could care less.
You seem fine. Yeah. He's not even
We're
sweating.
miserable. I'm starting to grumble because I do
mean, you're
not
like
like
these
this
guys,
climate.
right?
Oh,
This place
is the best.
sucks. Who would live out here?
Yeah, I go down.
goes where it's good.
They're like, nope, 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 nope.
Wish I had a face shield. I'd close that down and just let the little bastards hammer on my armor for a while trying to get in.
But then imagine one gets in through the eye hole.
Oh no! Only female mosquitoes, but after some time,
That tracks.
the sun sets. A full moon comes out, and you see the silhouette of the canopy above play odd, monstrous shapes on the water. The Vimerian does order that lanterns are lit to illuminate the area best he can, right? As you continue making your way, you do hear the roar of a waterfall, and you know exactly where you are.
As we get, y'all never pointed out to us the telescopes ever, or the.
I never saw it.
They were,
Yeah, no, and I just talked to Clarion, so if anybody was nearby, they heard me talk. I wasn't keeping it secret.
Yeah, so I don't have any qualms about danger or anything like that. I kind of point out a spot that allows us to walk the last like quarter mile away from the waterfall, and I jump into the water.
He weighs anchor, right? Or drops anchor, excuse me. He scratch that, reverse it. The rest of the Gripli see you jump in and they're like, heck yeah, and they just like right after you. They are just following you. They begin to swim up to that safe area, and I assume the rest of you are like, oh, okay, do we? Or are we waiting? As Vimerian sits off to the side and he says, and this is where you want to be left. He says, looking at all of you.
I
Yes.
imagine our froggy friend knows what he's doing.
I climb up a tree and I try to like lower down like anything that I can that makes it easier for them to like get across, and maybe like make a really, really, really crappy makeshift raft. How deep is the water?
Oh, very.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So anything that's like, if I can knock down a limb, I do that thing. So that way they have something to like hold on to and kind of like float.
You mean the rest of the Gripli, or
The rest of the group.
group?
Are we gonna
Yeah.
get to shore?
He
It's
has.
probably a long boat.
He has boats.
Oh, okay, never
We
mind.
take a dinghy.
Yeah.
Pull out the potion.
Yeah, get in that dingy.
I learned how to make monkey fish.
You can turn monkey into fish.
It's the weirdest thing, right?
All right, Dr. Moreau.
I don't know why I did this. It feels wrong.
It surprisingly also works in reverse, but you know, we don't talk about those.
I remind Captain Vermerian just to watch his return trip, make sure he's still be safe on his way back.
He tips his hat. He orders his men to ferry the rest of you off to the shoreline. He says, good luck on your journey and be safe.
And you. And for you. And
Oh. Don't know how to use this, but I'm going to figure it out.
Accidentally drops it, it breaks, that's when it.
Forrest Gump theme starts to play. You take the boat, you head off into the shoreline as you all begin to disembark. There is a way to get up top, but I would assume you're eager to get up there to the birthing pools to see if anybody else is
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, we gotta go. This is urgent.
As you quickly start making your way up there, the rest of you realize this trail was not made for anybody other than a Gripli.
Let's get ready to ask, what kind of terrain is this?
I am waiting for them. I'm like making sure they are safe and like all that stuff, but I definitely want to move.
The dozen other Gripli are just kind of like, peace, and just start making their way up, clambering through trees, and they seem all very comfortable with this. All Gripli that have spent their entire lives here have an ability called Swamp Stride, where difficult terrain is not difficult terrain for them. It is to you guys, though.
Absolutely, oh boy.
Yup. So you wait for the rest of them?
I do, yeah.
Then your Gripli brothers and sisters pass you, And Bongwater gets to the top and he turns to wait for the rest of you as you all make your way up there. When you get up to the top, it's almost breathtaking, the sight that you see. There is this bioluminescent algae that grows on the rocks, but only along the rim of these birthing pools, only on the shallow edges clinging to the rocks, that give them this almost ethereal blue glow. You see inside the birthing pool several wriggling tadpoles and polywags that are just making their way and swimming around. You would know that this is their most vulnerable time. If they only had a few more weeks, they may be able to get up and out. But like when you see this, you're like, oh, that's what time of year it is. And the boggards are attacking. This is terrible. When you get up there, you only see maybe 4 or 5 other Gripli waiting for you.
Outside of
the dozen, yes. As they rush up, they seem excited to see each other, rushing over and embracing, and begin to excitedly ribbit in response to one another about what had happened and what they're doing there. You would know that the few Gripli that are there were assigned to stand guard at this place. They cycle through ever so often, but not enough of them to draw attention to it. Mm-hmm. So there's only maybe 4 there to upkeep and protect the pools. But when you get there, they're just kind of like, what happened? Where have you been? As they begin to question, why haven't we been relieved from this? And Bongwater begins to explain as the rest of you get up top to this area. There are a couple of huts up in the trees, like very small huts, maybe enough, like a 10 by 10 area for these guards to live in and be protected from the elements. But no other real structures of note when you get up there.
I translate anything that's happening. I try to keep them in the loop.
So, this place is what exactly?
I was born in that puddle.
Me too.
The first 8 months of my life in that puddle.
Oh, it's a nursery?
It's a nursery.
Oh.
This
or a soup, depending on how you look at it.
is likely all of the Gripli that will grow to adulthood this year. And if anything were to happen to it, we will have lost a generation.
Oh, I see.
Is this the only place that this happens?
I don't know that. I would assume not.
For your village, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Every village has its own birthing pool. The only one that has it within their village,
The poison arrows?
no, not the Death Touch, would be the Crocala. The Crocala are the only ones that keep their birthing pools within their village. The rest of them have them somewhere secret. Somewhere safe.
At a certain point, I would go down and took a potion of one of my elixirs of comprehend languages, so I can now understand and speak Gripli.
Nice.
Does it speak to? I thought it was tongue.
Comprehend languages
Certainly
only
tongues
allows you
speak
to
Gripli.
understand them.
I can also
Certainly
read
tongues
Gripli.
speak
That's not speak though.
It's an odd language written.
You are correct.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
I would assume it's a picture language.
Hieroglyphics, yes.
No, that's pictures.
Just straight up frog jump. Frog hide.
He's frog jump. See frog dive.
Ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit. Death.
That is the line.
Riveted for her pleasure.
Oh my gosh.
That's riveting.
Sorry, moving on.
Oh my gosh.
So, where to that
from
now
here?
then, Menzarek?
How I look
How
at
could you all let me be this way?
I look at those that have been here a while. How long have you already been here?
We've been here for weeks.
How long do they usually like?
It's changed out every week.
Okay.
So the way that this lined up, they probably were here for a week doing their normal shift, and then they weren't relieved, and they have been here a week since.
Okay.
There was another one. We sent him back to the village, but he never returned. What happened? Bongwater begins to explain everything that's happening, And as he does so, he says, "There's more. Please, sit. Let me talk to you." As he gets you all around, he says,
I translate.
so he has like this kind of like a powwow. Yes.
I don't sit there and listen.
Okay.
I kind of just meander around and just look.
Step into
I don't know the
He
area.
dips his toe in the pool.
And if he says like this is something like, I don't really care to listen.
Okay.
Also,
I am deeply offended.
good.
He says, "Something you outsiders need to understand. The Com Edamora is our defender, a creature of great size that protects the Gripli area. She was brought here by Morguera, Manzeric's mother. She lost her arm defending the rest of our village from the Boggards. But it seems that Com Edamora is no longer protecting us. The Boggards attacked in a massive force. I don't know what has happened or where they are. The only thing I know is where Com Edamora should be, and where the captives of our village have been taken. I do know that the Boggard army have them as prisoners, and they are going to be moving in on the Kakarikik the Kakarikik village. And if they move on the Kakarikik village, then all of the Gripli territory will be lost.
What sort of a military force can you put together? Or do you have the capability to put together to defend villages?
We have warriors, hunters, but no such military force.
We are a peaceful people. We only fight when necessary.
How have you lived this long with the Boggards?
It's from Edamora.
You remember me speaking of the frog youth?
Yes.
Yes, that was living upon the
Is
borders.
that the same thing?
It's the same thing.
That's her name. That is her sacred name.
Oh,
I would not be saying her name. I would be saying to them, translated, the frog youth.
So
So you hear him say Com Edamora, and you would be like, and then he says Froghemoth, and you kind of start to put that together.
and it was a dungeoneering or was it a nature check?
For the Froghemoth,
Yeah.
is dungeoneering.
That means it's an aberration.
Mhm.
That's what Tone is stuck on. And he's like, I know nature. I know that.
Yes.
I know nature.
I did something on your computer. Oh gosh.
We're all
no.
12.
I don't know how that happened.
we've frozen.
The Froghemoth is not a naturally occurring thing.
No, it's in my book of Dungeon Eating.
Yeah. Why is it in that book and not the book of nature?
We can ask the author.
Dear Abby. Well, if typically when you can't put up a positive resistance, your best bet is to set the defensive position.
Or
Judging from this place, this is probably your most defensible position.
No. This place cannot be a place of fighting.
It's high up, it's away from everything, dense brush, you'd be able to basically hide.
Our villages are more defensible than this. This is only secret. If the Boggards were known to know about this place, and even with this force, they
so
can't
what
be
if,
stopped.
while the Bogarts are going to invade Rikki-Tikki-Tava, we go in behind them and save the rest of the Gripli through stealth?
Perry, I appreciate you. I really do. And I know that you're really good at hiding.
Mhm.
I'm really not. I am the opposite. I'm the antithesis. of
Right,
hiding.
I got you. So you're the decoy.
Why do I have to be the decoy? Also, it's decoy, not decoy.
That's an insight.
Decoy fish.
Throws it into spawning pool.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, I would murder that thing. I would cast Calm Animal
And
first,
then,
and then pull it out.
And then eat it whole.
Yes.
Let me know what kind of plan y'all come up with. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We are recording. This is a professional.
So, yes.
Level
So
12?
a couple things. Well, maybe I should wait until he gets back to share.
Maybe some things you can tell us.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is.
Ah, yes. So you get 500 experience. You get 500 experience. You get 500 experience.
Wahoo!
And you get 500 experience. And I get 500 experience.
It's
I was
official because
really
you're in the right
surprised
spot.
you didn't say
Yes.
5,000.
I'm a reasonable sneak.
Sneak.
He's gonna come in and just go, get out of my spot.
Welcome back. You got 500 experience while you were gone.
And then he disappeared. If he's here, he must be really small. It's hot in these rhinos.
By how much? Do the Boggarts outnumber the Gripli?
Do you ask Bogwater?
Yeah.
No. It's their magics, and I don't know how they're being able to overcome us, but they have some kind of secret weapon.
Describe their magic.
They have an evil magic. It is very much so like the druid.
Ours are more of nature, theirs are twisted and dark.
I sort of show like chain and like sort of like coalition of evil. Like this?
Lord.
I raise Dinokairos. I know nothing about that.
The Boggard use. So several of them go through a ritual known as the Akpara line. And the Akpara line gives a decent number of them the ability to cast spells as if they were druids. They are not druids, but it does give them that ability. Of those, as we call them, swamp seers, the best of the best become the war priests, and then the strongest of the war priests becomes the priest king. That is how they have kept our people in check and fear for so many years, until the frog hemoth was put between us as a natural barrier.
What is the reason for this hostility?
They like to eat us.
Oh.
Boggards believe that they are superior to us. That we are as natural prey to them as flies are to us.
I see.
What happened to Comata
I'm not sure. There's a sacred spot where she resides, in the center of the peninsula. But she simply hasn't emerged. She's territorial, powerful, unstoppable, but now I fear the worst if something has happened to her.
So is that where we go?
If
Wait,
you ask
whoa.
that, I get like really
Whoa,
uncomfortable.
whoa, whoa.
Well,
He
also-
specifically told us not to look for that thing.
But also, we have to go past it anyways to get to the Tree of Life.
We were gonna avoid it.
But it now sounds like we need to find it.
The frog hemoth is not something that one fights. It is an event. It is not so much a monster as it is death incarnate.
So, how did your mother tame it?
That's a great question.
Morguera didn't so much tame it as she lured it, sacrificing her own arm to do so.
Oh, I see.
He's a hero in our people's
But
lives.
an aberration of that power. A simple frog arm would not lure it in.
No, but she was powerful enough to get its attention. And once it came to the area and it found Bombrak and his people, it found a substantial number to feast and gorge itself on. Having a taste for Boggard, it terrified them and sent them scurrying back up to the north.
And it's been the buffer between them in your people ever since.
He nods.
Until how long ago did
A week.
a week ago?
7 days ago, they attacked in force.
If they have a priest king now that is more powerful than Bombrak.
That's a broad assumption to make that the frog behemoth isn't there anymore. It could be something even worse, like maybe they've learned how to control it, or they've learned how to work with it.
Frog Behemoth has joined the many.
Is it a sentient creature?
No! It's blasphemy!
Is the frog behemoth sentient?
Is the frog behemoth sentient? I feel like it is. In a sense.
You never spoke to it.
No, it tried to eat me.
Yeah, you never had a conversation with the frog.
There's a story we need. Or sitting around a campfire at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if the frog behemoth is intelligent. I just know that it eats and eats and eats everything.
Can I do? That's kind of weird. Can I do a wisdom check maybe to see if I remember any of the voices? I'm trying to pinpoint anything in this area. I know they're kind of different things.
From when you were affected?
Yes. No.
Did we hear
You
any
can say
giant
no. That's
remedy?
fine.
I'm trying to think on if you succeed, how that would play.
I only have a +1 modifier.
Well, nat 20s are up there.
No.
With your luck. Go ahead then, Delaney.
Look at that, 6.
So you're like, wait a minute.
I'm feeling lucky. I'm not feeling lucky anymore.
I'm finding it hard to wrap my head around the fact that your mother, be it an all-powerful druid.
And she's not a druid.
What was she?
A frog. No, Gripli.
She is a Gripli.
He just said she was all-powerful, or she's a powerful person.
She's a powerful person.
Just Gripli, she had 12 levels in Gripli and was able to lead the...
You do know.
I don't remember. I remember you told me what she
Yes.
was. I don't remember.
She is something called a spirit ranger. Yes, a spirit ranger is a cross between a ranger and a shaman.
Doesn't Saban have the copyright on that?
Anywho,
It's a Power Ranger joke.
What? A lot of traction with that joke. Well done. A spirit ranger is a cross between a druid and a ranger. Instead of gaining an animal companion, they can speak with the earth. Their animal companion is the spirit of the earth itself.
Oh.
Yes. And so she has been seen as kind of this spiritual leader of the Dendro tribe because everyone else just said she was because of that ability she has.
I feel validated for giving him the spirit key now. Just saying. He's the son of the leader of the spirit.
Trap this one.
Pose it like a Pokemon.
What's his button do?
Oh no.
Spencer.
I choose you.
It was
Manzarek. Manzarek.
Oh no.
You asked for it.
That was awesome.
I did no such thing.
That was awesome.
Anywho, so hearing that, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to piece that together. But, is this High King War Priest thing powerful enough to do something to? And I would still say Froghemoth because I think that's the name of the creature.
Mm-hmm. The war priest has been seen. They've had no such claim of killing the Froghemoth. I feel like Bogards would have said something, struck fear into the Gripli using the dead corpse of the Froghemoth, but we've seen no such thing.
Well, I do know we can keep talking about it or we can go do something about it.
I feel like we need to
Again, going to look for this thing is not my idea of a good time.
But we have to go to the tree anyway. And go to your
Then let's
the High Council that doesn't exist anymore.
But if we are to go see Kameramura, then what of our people that will be sacrificed?
I'm sorry. I did not hear that particular word before.
That's why we had to go there.
That's why he suggested breaking them out.
Yeah. You just,
I don't think anyone had ever mentioned sacrifice.
Yeah, this is the first time we've heard that word used.
Oh, that might have been a
That was
piece of
between
information.
That was before,
Yeah.
while they were on the ship. We never got that.
Oh,
particular-
you're saying in Gripli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was like, I said that.
No,
Okay.
you did.
Yeah, okay,
Our
okay.
characters never heard
Yeah,
that.
We're role playing.
Yeah, you're speaking Richard.
You guys are
Dead.
you guys are just so proud of you.
And so the word sacrifice was off. I was like,
wrong with them.
hold on,
Wait a minute.
backing up a second. Sacrifice.
Yeah. Or genocide.
We know someone else who prefers the method of sacrificing. You talk to him.
Don't put that on me.
Yeah. I did talk about this. Got to talk to Sebastian about Hanson.
So
We were all privy to that.
So that is now priority number one on my list. Because screw enslaving people and screw sacrificing people to gods and deities that they don't know about.
So we gotta save the people
Apparently.
from genocide.
Yeah.
I am so deeply conflicted between each.
It's
Oh,
not how
so
excited we are about that.
It's not so much as a resource, and it's just total annihilation of people.
Deep-seated hatred towards one race from another.
It's not
Talking
a
about
war.
genocide of that race because of previous enslavement of the previous race.
Think of it more as the hamburgers have risen up.
Uh-huh.
We are going to be demonetized.
We have to
We're
be
not
monetized
monetized
to get
first.
demonetized.
Applebee's, we're talking to you. Why Applebee's? I would like some apples. We don't sell apples. I'd like some bees. My name is Josh with a B, and I'm scared of insects.
You're gonna be really disappointed by Cold Stone.
I'm trying to remember how that joke went and I can't.
Where's the bee? Where's the bee?
I'm Jason with a B and I'm scared of insects. Where's the bee?
Here's the bee.
What time is it at this point?
7:45.
Well, it's fairly late.
You can let him get away with. Well, I can't say anything, can I?
No.
I have a froghemoth at my disposal. Anyway,
Or do you? We don't know anymore.
I have done something with the froghemoth. Don't
Right
screw
here.
with me.
Slaps down a.
I put down a real frog. Like, get it,
Oh, that's why you went outside.
froghemoth.
Just have it in your pocket?
Some
dead.
American bullfrog just on the
Had it since
TV
last week.
Answers that question.
with another eye taped to the middle of its forehead.
I'm sorry. What's
What's
the
happening?
question?
What time is it?
Oh yes, what time it is?
7:45.
It sundown was probably a few hours ago, so it's probably approaching somewhere close to 10 o'clock, 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
There.
The boggart usually hunt at night.
Well, I know this, but I don't know if my character would know this. The Bogger have dark vision, so I assume they're able to like go do stuff at night.
That's different.
They are equally comfortable doing either.
Okay.
So,
I feel like it would be wise for us to rest and leave First Light.
To the place where they're being captured. Or to Arcane. Or to the Great Tree.
I think it's more of a captivity for Akima, great tree, ...
I look at my uncle.
Like P.
Should we go to Kakarikik? Speak with them.
Roll me a sense motive.
16?
With 16, he seems conflicted about something. He seems lost in thought, and when you address him, he takes a moment to look up. You know your uncle isn't a tactician. He's not even a fighter. He rides a Dinokairos. He ferries people through the swamp. That's what he does. So when you ask that, he's just kind of, whatever you think, Manzarek.
I think it would be wise to go speak with the other villages that have not fallen and see what their state of affairs is. And then maybe launch an attack or...
What about positioning? Where's the other village versus the captivity place versus... I need a map.
I'm a map.
So,
I assume Bongwater takes the time in mud and draws out a crude map of...
If he doesn't, I do.
So this is... This is the Martrekian
That's too
Peninsula.
bright.
Yeah, sorry, you can't. It's kind of hard to make out.
that?
So this is the Martrekian Peninsula. This little guy right here. Yeah.
Sure.
It's split into two different halves. However, you don't know. You have a hard time knowing what's going on over here because Gripli don't normally leave their area. Okay. So you guys are on this southern portion, Rahar, and the Boggard are in this top portion, and they have come down here. Most of these large lakes here are where Gripli reside. The map's not going to super help you unless I make a larger, more detailed map of this specific area.
I'm not. I, the player, and not asking for a map. That was Dr. Tone.
Yeah.
Saying I need visualized.
Bongwater takes a stick and he draws into the ground, and he begins to draw kind of a relatively detailed map of the areas where the tribes are and where you are at this moment. What are you wanting to know specifically?
Is there a easy route that's not out of the way that we could go to Kakarika, see what's going on, and then go? We're gonna go find Gripli captives, and then sort of is there a path that does that, or are we offshooting by going to Kakarika, and then over, and then offshooting down? Is there a straight line there, or is it a very curvy one?
There's no such thing. Neither of those things exist in this area. The Gripli and the Boggards don't make roads. And so to say a path, the Gripli will swim and climb and leap to all of their areas and do their best not to disturb the natural way that the trees have been created.
I can't make that promise.
The only place that kind of does that is the people of Martrek, who have done that in a few mile radius around the city. But even they, not so much, because most of their resources come by the ocean.
Right.
And they are only there to just party and stay away from any kind of authority. So when you ask that, the best way to do it, geographically and by the way the crow flies, if you head west, you'll get to Kakarikik village. If you go north, you'll get to the sacred site of the Froghemoth.
And where does he think the Gripli are being held captive?
They are being held captive at the Boggard camp, which is outside of the Kakarikik village. They have been rebuffed, but they are returning in force, and he thinks within the next couple days they're going to attack the
So we have to
Kakarikik.
go
So going to Kakarika and then immediately going to the camp would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
No.
There it is. Let's go. I'll sleep first.
I would spend my channels in my several spell slots and heal everyone up to full, including any Gripli that look like they're injured. Not necessarily using magic on them, but more of manually, physically healing them.
Most of the Gripli do kind of hang out with you guys and kind of croak at you. You do have conversation with them. They start to ask you basic questions, where you're from and things like that. But I assume at some point you're like, I'm going to rest, because they seem as perfectly comfortable being awake at night as they are during the day. So when you're like, I'm not. I have skating rhythm. So you begin to bed down and rest for the evening. I would like all of you to roll me a perception check with a -10.
Why bother rolling?
I think don't you
Because you
have
are sleepy.
a oh, that on your right.
You were sleepy peeps.
Quattro.
Ring of sustenance is what's wrong.
Did you say nat 1? So you have dreams that you think are like very, very real, a thing that has happened, right? You have dreams that you are visited in the night by a sexy forest nymph. His name is Roy. He appears to you in a nice leafy fan dance. And when you wake in the morning, you long for Roy and that friendship you have bonded with him overnight. That's all you get, man. Yeah. But you also have an hour and 55 more minutes after your dream with Roy. The forest nymph.
It takes a week for ring of sustenance to
24.
16.
Dr. Tone.
Well,
Oh.
I don't know.
wow.
Dr. Tone and Manzarek, you two are awakened in the middle of the night. Oh yes.
Sure.
You hear rustling from one of the huts, and you see Bongwater putting a pack on his back as he begins to make his way down the ladder, and he starts to walk out from the camp.
I follow.
In secret, or you approach him?
I will follow in secret at first to like get away from the rest of the group because I don't want to wake anybody up. But then after I've gotten a sizable distance, I will like just straight run after him.
Roll me a stealth check. DC is 15.
Let's see, Manzarek.
Doing his Manzarek
28.
thing. Oh yeah.
I don't want your see Manzarek comes.
So, he makes his way up river, and he begins to head north. Not the way that you just came. He begins to head, what you believe to be the sacred site of Kamada Mora. As he starts making his way north, you let him get a reasonable distance out of earshot of casual conversation. And then when you begin to approach him, he spins to face you. Manzarek, what are you doing? He looks down at the ground. Did you stay at camp? Did you see that happen? And you're just like, okay, bye.
I would have probably said, hey, Manzarek, let me know if I need to come with. I'd
imagine like you see him and you begin to stealth, and then you hear that and you're like, ah! I was stealthing.
I just kind of nod my head. Yes. I don't have anything that would be like, hey, I can talk to you for a far distance.
You want me to just casually follow?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, 60 feet-ish back, I'll just walk out of the camp behind Manzarek.
It doesn't take long for you to realize that hooves are not conducive to walking in mud.
Oh, yeah.
There's no surface area.
Walking on stilts.
He spins to face you. Manzarek, what are you doing here?
Where are you going?
I don't know. It doesn't feel right. That Kamada is something might have happened. There's nothing I can do to save our people, but I want to go. I want to see. Maybe I can do what your mother did. Maybe I can bring her back to defend this area. I have to know.
Uncle, we need to consolidate our forces. If we are to expect to survive a Bogart invasion, we must consolidate.
But I can't defend the birthing pools. And I'm no good at sneaking in to help them. And besides, Lily is the only thing that I ever really loved. didn't think that those beasts have her somewhere. I feel like this is something I have to do, Manzaret.
I'm gonna roll a diplomacy.
Okay.
I stay like that same 60 feet back.
That one. Please.
You can't help but think. Where are we What if she's there?
She would go after it.
I understand if you don't want to come with me. Your companions, they're capable. They can help the Gripli. They've already proven that they can do that. But to go to this sacred site is something only a Gripli can do.
I wish I had been there. I wish I could have fought. But even just me being there would not have made any difference. And I hate that.
Then come with me. You've survived the the Kamadamora before. You know how she is. You can do this.
I escaped because of my friend Daryl.
And look how much more powerful you are now. You are Daryl. If anyone can do this, Manzaret, the son of Morquera can.
I can only do it with my friends.
But then that leaves the others to be sacrificed. What if they go? What if they save them, and we go get Kamadamora and bring her back, just like your mother did?
I think that would end with both of us dead.
Maybe. But so may this. The Boggards have been unstoppable, and a force even as strong as your friends couldn't fight them off. We need help. We need something more.
I don't know if that is the answer. When one plants a garden, one must tend to it. One must watch over its crops and water it and protect it. And harvesting too early or making a hasty move could be the death of all the crops. I think this is a hasty move leading to a death of all the crops.
I'm sure your farming analogy means something to someone that didn't grow up in the swamp.
I heard Darrow's name once or twice. I don't know what it means.
But it sounds good. Well, Manzaret, you do what you think is right. He lays his hand on your shoulder. It was good seeing you, nephew. And I wish you luck.
Go find Lily and hide.
This is something I have to do. I'm going to find Kamadamora and bring her back. Or I'm going to die trying.
Shoot.
You're just gonna go let him croak like that?
I don't want him to go, but I also don't want to stop him. I cast Bark Skin on him. No, I don't, because it's not even gonna last that long.
I certainly don't.
Oh my gosh.
Manzeric, I sort of yell from the back. Do you still need me to help you with something? I don't. You guys were croaking a lot, and I don't know what's going on. It just seemed personal. Is he leaving? Is he going? Is he staying?
He is. I call back in common. He is leaving.
Oh. You okay with this?
And I feel like I need to go with him.
Oh.
I don't want to.
I mean, I can make his journey easier.
Go get the rest of the party.
Now?
Now.
They haven't rested fully.
Dang it.
I look at the moon that's like, it's like 2 o'clock at night, my guy. Come here, please. I sort of motion to Bongbard as I approach Manzeric.
Kind of like stops. He hears you as he.
Friend.
I just translate.
And I would say this in common and just have him translate. I don't quite know what's going on. I don't understand Gripli culture. I don't get it. Whatever. You have somewhere you need to be, some religious journey you go upon. May the trail always find itself beneath your feet. And I cast Expeditious Retreat on him. It will last 7 minutes. But I figured a Gripli in the swamp.
He gonna get it.
7 minutes of speed increase by 30 feet.
Getting it. He bows.
He waits for 7 minutes before he starts his journey.
His tiny giant head.
Go.
We just sent him off to die.
And we are going to take a short break and pick it up there in just a moment.
You didn't
We'll see
tell
you
me-
in just a moment, adventurers.